G'day guys, Jake from Bain Racing here again. The age-old debate, Carby versus EFI. I thought I'd address this question as I don't tend to like these absolutes like this, and rather than get into the whole appeal to authority, because I can sit here and say, you know, we build 50 to 70 intakes a year, send them all over the country and overseas and stuff like that. I just want to talk about the science, because, you know, if every video I can put up of an EFI winning, I'm sure you can find 3 of a Carby doing it. So I really just want to talk about the mechanisms of action behind why people are seeing certain results and what areas EFI might dominate versus Carby. Obviously the torque bend is superior in EFI, and we're sort of seeing peak numbers in Carby are a little better, but I'll explain why. But the first area I want to talk about is pressure differential, and an EFI wins in this area because it doesn't need to sacrifice atmospheric pressure to lift fuel and create atomization. So in that area it's sort of got a tick up, a leg up. But that leads me into point number 2, which is atomization, and this is why a Carby is superior. We've had 50 years or longer of race Carby development. From the emulsion tubes to adjustments, they're simply brilliant now, some of these billet Carbys. And I've seen a few of the comments in the dimple ports, people talking about our Carbys needing dimples because they don't atomize fuel as well as an injector. That's total rubbish. An injector droplet size is 10 times the size of what comes out of a Carby. Carbys are really absolutely brilliant through the pressure drop and the change in signal at atomizing fuel. And the more money you spend generally, the better they are, because the really good Carby guys out there don't need to sacrifice as much atmospheric pressure to get that fuel in and atomized. And that's a simple fact. That leads into my third point, is density and the speed of sound. If we're dynoing a wet Carby manifold, we've got injectors in, they pull the Carby off, throw a throttle body on, pull the string, go, look, didn't make as much horsepower. Well, that's not really being honest. And if we're going to talk about it, and most guys will know that EFI engine will make more torque and generally cap horsepower on a Carby manifold, and that's because an EFI engine needs a shorter runner. It has a denser air. It'll turbulate sooner, so it needs different cross-sectional area factors, and it needs a different runner length. So that leads me into my final point, and that's manifold design. We haven't really seen it, though. NASCAR sort of seen, you know, really good gains when they were able to move their injectors up the runner. But a lot of the series is very restrictive and dictated around Carby designs. But once we're able to stand the runner up, point it at the throttle body, which you can't do with a Carby because you'll wash the signal out, right? But with an EFI manifold, we don't need to worry about that. And our airspeeds through the throttle body can be far lower. I've got a calculator on our websites on throttle body sizes, and you can run as low as, you know, 150, 125 feet per second, which a Carby just can't do that, you know. So the ability for cylinder to cylinder spread becomes better and better as we stand it up, get a straighter shot, and so on. So there is a lot of factors, and I really think that only time will tell. As I said, I've seen plenty make more, but it is a fickle debate that continues on in the industry. But there is a few simple mechanisms, as I said, even down to injector design, which Formula One back in the day put a hell of a lot of time in at the end of the injector, with massive fuel pressures far past what we see, just to get them to make horsepower. So anyway, hope that helps, guys.